So the price of lithium and like all the raw materials and the battery cells went crazy. It doubled.
Tesla may have just created a battery that charges in 15 minutes, lasts 30 years, and takes you over 767 miles without a single gram of lithium. No cobalt, no nickel, just aluminum. Leaks from inside Giga Nevada point to a secret breakthrough that could destroy the lithium industry overnight. But is it real? Or is it another overhyped promise? This changes everything. If it's true, let's discover. Section 1. The Game Changer. What this new battery promises. Tesla may have just found a way to kill lithium. A new battery, still under wraps inside its most secretive labs, is making waves for one reason. It could take a Tesla over 767 miles on a single charge. Not 300, not 400, 767. And it doesn't stop there. This rumored battery, dubbed the A1, isn't just promising more range. It claims to charge in 15 minutes, avoid fire risks, and last decades longer than what's in today's cars. It uses no lithium, no cobalt, and no nickel. Just aluminum, graphite, and a special liquid electrolyte. So, how real is this? Could Tesla really walk away from the very element that built its empire? And if so, is this the battery that finally makes the $25,000 Tesla possible? The rumors surrounding the so-called A1 battery didn't come from a flashy press conference or investor call. They came from leaks, details whispered out of Tesla's internal research and development division, specifically tied to developments adjacent to Giga Nevada. According to these reports, engineers have been testing a completely new battery architecture built around aluminum-ion chemistry. This isn't a tweak to existing lithium cells or a cost-cutting experiment. It's a clean break. The cells reportedly use a metallic aluminum anode, a graphite-based cathode, and an ionic liquid electrolyte to move charges between them. Unlike traditional lithium-ion batteries, where each lithium ion carries a single charge, aluminum ions carry 3. That simple difference allows each aluminum ion to move 3 times as much energy per cycle. The result? Far more power stored in the same space. In raw numbers, the energy density of this A1 battery is said to reach around 700 watt-hours per kilogram, more than triple that of current lithium-based batteries like those in the Tesla Model 3 or Y. That number alone, if accurate, represents one of the largest leaps in battery chemistry in over a decade, and it directly translates into real-world range. For context, a Model 3 long range currently offers 346 miles on an 80 kilowatt-hour lithium battery with about 180 to 200 watt-hours per kilogram density. But if you swap that battery with one based on this rumored aluminum-ion tech, keeping the size and weight the same, theoretically, the range could exceed 1,000 miles. That's not just an improvement. It's a complete reset of expectations. Of course, range isn't everything. Charging speed is just as important to consumers, and here too, the A1 battery raises eyebrows. Unlike lithium ions, aluminum ions move faster through electrolytes. Combined with the battery's better thermal properties, that allows the A1 to reportedly charge to full in around 15 minutes. Today's fastest lithium chargers still take 25 to 35 minutes to reach 80%. Beyond that, the A1 battery's structure naturally resists the formation of dendrites, those dangerous metal spikes that can form in lithium batteries and lead to overheating, short circuits, and even fires. Without dendrites and with greater stability at higher temperatures, the aluminum-ion cell promises both improved safety and longevity. Speaking of longevity, this is where the A1 might deliver its most quietly revolutionary feature: durability. Current lithium batteries, even in premium Tesla models, tend to degrade significantly after 1,500 to 2,000 full charge cycles. That usually translates to about 300,000 to 500,000 miles, depending on usage. But the A1 battery is said to be capable of surviving over 15,000 full charge cycles before dropping below 80% capacity. If true, that's enough for a vehicle to last over 2 million miles, or more than 30 years of average use. It's not just about lasting longer. It's about fundamentally changing how we think about car ownership, resale, and battery replacement. But all of this leads to a crucial question. How much would it cost? Because even the best battery in the world is useless if it's too expensive to mass produce. Lithium is a major part of why Tesla hasn't been able to hit its long-promised $25,000 EV target. Not only is lithium expensive, but its price has swung wildly, rising by over 500% during peak demand and creating massive volatility in EV production costs. Tesla's current NMC battery packs, nickel, manganese, cobalt, cost an estimated $11,000 per vehicle, or about 25% of the car's entire production cost. That's a huge number, and it keeps Tesla from entering the true mass market. Aluminum, on the other hand, is the most abundant metal in Earth's crust. It's cheap, stable, and easy to source. You don't need to dig into politically unstable regions, and you don't need to rely on rare earth metals that bring geopolitical baggage. The A1 battery, if mass-produced, could bring costs down dramatically. Some early projections suggest Tesla could manufacture aluminum-ion packs for as low as $60 per kilowatt-hour, or about $4,300 for a full pack. That's less than half of what it pays today. At that price, Tesla wouldn't just lower its own production costs, it could finally deliver on the long-promised affordable Tesla for the masses. What makes this all even more intriguing is timing. Sources claim Tesla is planning to manufacture this new battery entirely within the United States, at an expanded facility adjacent to Giga Nevada. Equipment is reportedly being installed now, with production lines expected to begin calibration by late 2025. That aligns closely with Elon Musk's latest hints about a next-generation compact Tesla vehicle aimed at the $25,000 price point, a project that's been delayed for over 4 years. With this battery, that project suddenly seems feasible. And not just feasible, but transformative. Section 2. Behind the science, can aluminum ion actually beat lithium? This isn't just a tweak to battery chemistry. It's one of the most shocking breakthroughs in energy storage science in the past 50 years. In a field where most advances are incremental, 5% more density here, 10% faster charging there, the aluminum-ion battery has completely shattered expectations. It doesn't use lithium, yet it delivers over 3 times the energy per unit of mass. It doesn't use cobalt or nickel, yet it performs better than batteries that rely on them. And most astonishing of all, it may last up to 30 years while charging in just 15 minutes. This is not a small leap. It's a completely new direction. But how exactly does this new battery work? And more importantly, can it really beat lithium, the backbone of Tesla's success, and the standard of the entire electric vehicle industry? The core of the aluminum-ion battery's power lies in something deceptively simple: how many charges each ion carries. In a lithium-ion battery, each lithium ion carries a single positive charge as it moves from the anode to the cathode and back again. That charge movement is what generates electricity and stores energy. But in aluminum-ion batteries, each aluminum ion carries 3 positive charges. That means one aluminum ion does the work of 3 lithium ions. Right away, This gives the aluminum-ion battery a massive advantage in energy density, assuming the battery can handle that flow efficiently without overheating or degrading too quickly. But the chemistry isn't just about how many charges are carried. It's about how stable the process is. Lithium is a reactive metal. It's highly flammable, unstable in air and water, and prone to forming dendrites during repeated charging. Dendrites are tiny spikes of metal that grow from the lithium anode and can puncture the battery's internal components, causing short circuits and, in worst-case scenarios, fires or explosions. To prevent this, lithium-ion batteries require complex and costly safety systems, which add weight and reduce usable energy density. Aluminum, on the other hand, is much more stable. It forms a natural oxide layer when exposed to air, which protects it from corrosion and unwanted chemical reactions. It doesn't form dendrites the way lithium does, and it doesn't require the same level of thermal management. In simple terms, this makes aluminum-ion batteries inherently safer. You don't need to wrap them in the same layers of protection, which frees up space and reduces manufacturing costs. One of the biggest hidden advantages of aluminum-ion cells is in their thermal behavior. Because aluminum is a better conductor of heat than lithium, it dissipates heat more evenly throughout the cell during both charging and discharging. This leads to lower internal temperatures, less degradation over time, and much more consistent performance under high loads. For electric vehicles, this is critical. Battery packs in EVs are regularly pushed to their limits during acceleration, regenerative braking, and fast charging. A battery that manages heat better not only performs better, it lives longer. So why isn't every company already using aluminum-ion batteries? The answer lies in the limitations that still exist. One of the most significant is performance in cold weather. While lithium-ion batteries lose some range and charging efficiency at low temperatures, they still work well enough for everyday use in cold climates like Canada, Northern Europe, or parts of the United States. Aluminum-ion batteries, at least in their current form, suffer from much more severe conductivity losses below freezing. This means they deliver less power, charge slower, and may not be reliable in winter conditions unless serious improvements are made to the electrolyte chemistry. This brings us to another major challenge: the electrolyte itself. In lithium-ion batteries, the electrolyte is typically a liquid made from lithium salts and organic solvents. It's flammable and toxic, but it's relatively easy to produce at scale. Aluminum-ion batteries use something much more complex: ionic liquids. These are special salts that remain liquid at room temperature and are stable enough to handle aluminum's high charge density. But they're expensive, often corrosive, and can be difficult to manufacture consistently. Some ionic liquids also raise environmental and safety concerns if leaked or improperly handled. Finding a cost-effective, non-toxic, and scalable electrolyte remains one of the biggest hurdles to bringing aluminum-ion batteries to market. There's also the issue of weight and volume. Aluminum is denser than lithium, which means that for the same energy output, the battery may end up being physically larger or heavier. While this might not matter for stationary energy storage or larger vehicles like trucks or buses, it could be a disadvantage in compact cars, where every gram and inch of space counts. Tesla would need to carefully redesign its battery packs and possibly vehicle chassis to accommodate the different properties of aluminum-ion cells without losing efficiency or compromising interior space. Another sticking point is the total lack of official confirmation. Despite the detailed rumors and leaks, Tesla has not filed any publicly visible patents under the name A1 or anything clearly connected to this battery architecture. There have been no prototype unveilings, no test results presented, no third-party verification. For now, all of the information comes from sources described as close to internal development. or leaks from facilities near Giga Nevada. And while Tesla has a long history of keeping major innovations under wraps until they're ready for a dramatic reveal, the absence of any formal trace makes it difficult to separate real progress from exaggerated speculation. So far, other players in the battery industry have been more transparent about their aluminum-ion experiments. Stanford University has been at the forefront of this research for over a decade. Their early prototypes used aluminum anodes and graphite foam cathodes, which allowed for extremely fast charging and thousands of cycles without degradation. But those early batteries had energy densities far below lithium-ion standards, making them impractical for EVs. The Graphene Manufacturing Group in Australia has also made headlines. Their aluminum-ion batteries use graphene-enhanced cathodes and have demonstrated impressive charging speeds and cycle life in lab conditions. But again, they haven't moved to commercial-scale production, and their batteries are still not being used in real-world EV applications. The Indian Institute of Science has explored similar technologies, focusing on improving the performance of aluminum-ion cells using modified electrolytes and novel cathode materials. Their results are promising for grid storage and short-range vehicles, but energy density remains a limiting factor. Meanwhile, other battery chemistries are moving forward at a much faster pace. CATL, the world's largest battery manufacturer, has already launched sodium-ion batteries into commercial production. These batteries operate well in cold temperatures, use no lithium or cobalt, and are already being tested in mass-market electric cars in China. Their energy density is lower, around 175 watt-hours per kilogram, but they're cheap, scalable, and much closer to full-scale deployment. Section 3. The bigger picture. Is this the future or a distraction? If Tesla already dominates the lithium-ion game, why would it pivot to something completely unproven like aluminum-ion? Why take a risk on a battery with no commercial track record? The answer might lie not just in performance metrics, but in control. Control over cost, materials, and the long-term future of the company's electric ecosystem. Tesla's current battery supply chain, while advanced, still depends on external players and volatile commodities. Its most important battery partners, Panasonic, CATL, LG Energy Solution, are global giants that also supply Tesla's competitors. Meanwhile, lithium itself has become a bottleneck, not just in price, but in political geography. And even with Tesla refining more of its own materials, it's still tied to the same fragile ecosystem that threatens the entire EV market's future scalability. Tesla's battery strategy up until now has been built on partnerships and iteration. From the early days of its collaboration with Panasonic at Giga Nevada, to more recent work with CATL and BYD in China, Tesla has scaled its battery supply by tapping into the lithium-ion infrastructure already in place. It built its cars, Model S, Model X, Model 3, and Model Y, around cylindrical lithium cells like the 18650, 2170, and now the 4680 format. With every generation, it's pushed performance further, while also trying to cut costs. But those cost savings have started to hit a wall. Despite its progress, the much-hyped 4680 battery is still more expensive to produce than the batteries Tesla buys from suppliers. And the reason comes down to materials: nickel, cobalt, and most of all, lithium. Even with its new lithium refinery in South Texas, which began early-stage operations in 2024, Tesla hasn't solved the underlying issue. Lithium is becoming harder to get, not easier. Global demand keeps rising, but new production capacity can take years to come online. Add in the environmental concerns, the water-intensive extraction process, and the fact that most of the world's reserves are concentrated in just a handful of countries. And it becomes clear why Tesla might be looking for an escape hatch. Aluminum, by contrast, is everywhere. It's the most abundant metal in Earth's crust. It's cheap, it's non-toxic, and its supply is not controlled by any one country or cartel. If Tesla can master aluminum-ion battery chemistry, it could dramatically reduce its exposure to geopolitical risk and finally bring its battery supply fully in-house. This is where the A1 battery becomes more than a science experiment. If it works, if it scales, and if it delivers on even half of what's being claimed, it could change everything. The $25,000 Tesla, something Elon Musk has been promising since 2020, suddenly becomes not just plausible, but likely. Today's Model 3 starts at around $38,000 in the United States, with a battery pack that alone costs over $11,000 to produce. Swap in a cheaper aluminum-ion pack, estimated at around $4,300, and suddenly you've shaved thousands off the base cost of the car. Combine that with reduced safety requirements, fewer rare materials, and simpler thermal management systems, and the economics begin to shift in a major way. Range, too, gets redefined. If Tesla can achieve 767 miles of range using aluminum-ion tech, it effectively kills the single biggest concern most consumers still have about EVs: range anxiety. Long trips become trivial. Charging stops become rare. And in places with unreliable infrastructure or no charging stations at all, EVs become a realistic option for the first time. This isn't just about improving the current experience. It's about unlocking entirely new markets that EVs haven't been able to reach yet. There's also the geopolitical dimension. Lithium production is currently dominated by a narrow group of players. China controls much of the processing and refinement. The lithium triangle of Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia holds the majority of known reserves. Any disruption in this chain, political instability, trade restrictions, or resource nationalism can send prices skyrocketing, as seen multiple times over the past 3 years. By switching to aluminum, Tesla would be cutting itself free from this dependency. It would be sourcing its most critical battery material from stable, diversified suppliers, many of which are already in North America. That's not just good business, it's a strategic advantage in a world where supply chains are becoming more fragile, not less. And yet, the upside remains enormous. If Tesla delivers, it will not only solve the lithium bottleneck, it will own the first truly scalable post-lithium battery technology. That would put the company years ahead of the competition, secure its cost leadership, and open up entirely new product lines, from budget EVs to ultra-long range vehicles, and even grid-scale storage solutions. But none of that will matter unless the A1 battery moves from lab prototype to mass production. That's the line between promise and reality. And right now, Tesla is standing right on it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the next video for more exciting content.